Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Players Earn YouTube channel. And it feels a bit like the World Cup yet again because the Dutch have won and it's due to Wout Weghorst and Cody Gakpo. The two superstars for the Dutch scoring to ensure they beat Poland 2-1 last night. Probably the most exciting out of all three games, and one that I obviously was live stream watching and really, I guess, impressed what we saw there from Poland. It was a very back and forth type affair. Another game where each team had their moments in control of possession and control of the momentum of the game. But when it came down to it, Wout Weghorst sprung off the bench to score with his first touch and secure the Dutch a massive win to start their tournament off in the right fashion. Going to the game here, it started early on in the Dutch's favour. The first sort of 15 or so minutes, all dominated by the Dutch. Gakpo got to the back post early, and in the second minute had a snapshot that was just saved the near post by Wojciech Szczesny. He was very busy in this game here, making save after save. The Dutch had another massive chance in the 9th minute. Timo Reijers making a late run into the area to get on the end of a Verman return ball. His shot, though, went wide at the near post, and early stages, all the Dutch, a lot of possession and a lot of forward play. And the Poles were sitting in their back three, running to the back five at time, with Zalewski dropping in nice and deep and supporting instead of being that sort of high and wide winger we thought we'd see him play. And, it was tough early on. Jakub Kiwior, Benderek, and Salomon all being very solid at the back, but it wasn't made easy. The Dutch continued to come at a lot of good strings of possession with great pressure. Zielinski struggled to get time on the ball, and it just looked like it was a matter of time before the Dutch would go and score. They had about 80% possession. I think you had chances to Xavi Simons and also another chance for Cody Gakpo in the first quarter of an hour. However, the Polish were the team to take the early lead in the 16th minute. A flurry forward was taken behind for a corner kick, and Zielinski, the captain, produced one of the great balls into the area that was headed home by Buxko, who was a striker filling in for Robert Lewandowski in this game here. He did a fantastic job in terms of his overall game. Didn't get much of the ball, but worked fantastically well up and down that pitch, pressing hard up the pitch. Bit of hold-up play as well, winning fouls off the likes of Virgil van Dijk and Stefan de Vrij. And all in all, a great learning experience for him to get a start here over Robert Lewandowski due to the superstar being injured. But he did a fantastic job of that as well. So maybe Abansi doesn't get the start next time out and they play a two-up-top with Lewandowski and Buxko, because I know they're both similar types of players, but Buxko did a fantastic job helping Poland get out of that high press that the Dutch were putting onto him. He was a great hold-up player, won a lot of fouls, and obviously put that ball in the back of the net. A fantastic ball in for the captain, Zielinski. A zonal marking employed by the Dutch wasn't done well. Denzel Dumfries beaten by the taller Buxko to the ball. Virgil van Dijk trailing that corner, and as such, the Polish led in 16 minutes, and it was against the run of play, but they did well to stay in the game. They fought hard. Some big saves from Wojciech Szczesny. They kept the Dutch at arm's length, I guess, for most of the early periods of the game there, despite the dominance in possession and in the territory battle as well. Poland will continue to grow into the game, but after that first goal went in, it felt like the Dutch had the better of the chances. Virgil van Dijk nearly equalising not too long after, in the 20th minute, taking a corner in the volley and forcing Wojciech Szczesny to make a massive reaction save to his left. And as a theme of things to come, the Dutch will continue to put the pressure and hound in the Polish side. And eventually they found the back of the net. In the 29th minute, Zalewski's poor clearance was picked up by Ake, a superb first touch to roll into Cody Gakpo. He had space to drive into an open area, and his shot was deflected off Salomon and past a wrong-footed Wojciech Szczesny to equalise the game at 1-1 just before the half-hour mark. And I guess deserved goal for the Netherlands, but really unfortunate for Poland because they defended so well to that point in time, and the goal obviously comes through a deflection, which I think Wojciech Szczesny would have saved the effort if it was just directly at him. He was down low looking to cover down to his right-hand side there, but the deflection wrong-footed him. It slid in past him in the centre of the goal, and I guess a deserved goal for Cody Gakpo, who I'll touch on a bit later on, but fantastic willing run in this game here. Probably their sharpest player in the final third. Xavi Simons not really having that impact I thought he would. Memphis Depay, not really the answer up top for me. So it was Cody Gakpo doing a lot of the attacking work, and a lot of the good work that the Netherlands had done in the first half went through Cody Gakpo. So he was one to equalise. Memphis Depay had a few more chances, 2 or 3 more chances, but missed them all in the first half, including a late one just on half-time, which he put high over the crossbar, which meant we went into half-time 1-1, and I think Poland would have taken that result despite having to sit there and absorb a lot of pressure. They had some key moments, obviously the goal coming, and then sort of around the 40th minute to the 45th minute, having a few more moments there on possession, growing in the game, confidence in the ball, and a really sort of solid performance in that first half there. the Dutch, obviously the better side. They had about 10 shots, 67% possession. That pass accuracy was in the high 95s for most of the game. Just showing the control they had coming out from the back. Virgil van Dijk and Stefan de Vrij look unbeatable at the back. Nathan Ake was consistently incredible in this game here, constantly cutting off passes, getting his team going forward. So really, really solid start for the Dutch, but wasn't quite the scoreline they wanted. However, they came out in the second half and continued to pepper away at the Polish side. It was a slower second half all in all. Big chances fell to Jakub Kiwior as Zalewski continues to get more involved in the game, and we saw more of what I expected, which was the youngster getting high up on that left-hand side there, attacking the bar line, and every time he got on the ball, it just seemed like the Polish looked 10 times more dangerous. He was jinking inside, outside, playing these little give and goes with some of his other Polish teammates, and whenever he got the ball, you saw a little bit of nervousness there from the Dutch, and his ball found Jakub Kiwior at the back post, and the volley scuffed a little bit, and unfortunately was saved by Verbruggen. But Polish chances were sort of few far between. It was a game played in the centre third in the second half. Not many massive clear-cut opportunities. Denzel Dumfries having one of those clear-cut opportunities. He got down the right-hand channel, as he has done most of that game, and got a snapshot that went wide of the far post, trying to find that far post there. Meaning we're getting later and later in the game, and it was looking more likely that the game was just going to fizzle out and be a 1-1 draw. But Ronald Koeman turned to his bench, got like a Jeremy Frimpong, Wout Weghorst on, and it was the secondary player there, Wout Weghorst, who would come off the bench and with his first touch of the football, find the back of the net in the 83rd minute to save a massive 3 points for the Netherlands. It was Nathan Ake who drove into space. He was fantastic throughout the game and kept growing in the second half, developed. He drove into a space, played a ball in, and it was Wout Weghorst to get on the end of it, beating Salomon to the ball and scoring at the near post past Wojciech Szczesny to make the game 2-1. And despite Zalewski and I think Petrosky right at the end attempting chances on the Bart Verbruggen goal, Netherlands would hold on for not their best performance, but a very important 3 points to get the group off to the right manner. And a really, I guess, important result for the confidence of the side to be able to win games in different manners. They've obviously dominated games in the past and won games, but this was a game where they dominated. They didn't quite get, I guess, the output they were wanting for, not quite the clinical edge in the final third, but they want to get over the line in the end. You know, deflected goal from Cody Gakpo, a good sort of build up in the second goal, but had to wait really, really late for it. But it's a sign they can win in many different ways. I think that's a positive for me. I think people I weren't really impressed last night with the Dutch. I was quite impressed in terms of seeing different ways they can play their football. Yes, they needed a little bit more pace in their game. It inject a bit more precision in that final third, but all in all, it was a really solid performance. You look at Tino Reyners, whenever the ball was at his feet, he looked really, really pivotal to the side going forward. I look at Xavi Simons, nowhere near his best game, nowhere near the performances we've seen from him in the Bundesliga. He's got so much more to go. If he rises another level, you see the improvement there. Cody Gakpo, back to his World Cup type form. He continues to be a menace in that orange kit there. Always find the back of that. I'll touch on his stats in this game in a minute. He was fantastic. Verbruggen in goal, a young goalkeeper, 21 years of age, coming from Brighton. Fantastic in the net, making some important saves. Really, really capable, playing out from the back. And obviously, the back four in itself, Denzel Dumfries getting high and wide up that right-hand channel. Nathan Ake, my personal man of the match. Then Stefan de Vrij and Virgil van Dijk, resilient in the centre-half positioning. That brings you to some of my key players in the game, starting with Weghorst. Obviously gets the winning goal. He won 2 out of 5 his aerial duels, 8 touches, and obviously the pivotal goal there. That's sort of the player that Wout Weghorst is going to be, coming off the bench or from a start maybe in different, more difficult games. He's going to press hard up the pitch, got to chase down those 50-50 balls, make it difficult for centre-halves, can hold the ball up. And I tell you what, yes, he's not known for goals, but when he gets in a dangerous area like Nathan Ake found him there for that goal, he puts it at the back of the net more often than not. And I know he gets slandered off for the time at Manchester United. He struggled this year for Hoffenheim in the Bundesliga, but in important moments, another player who thrives when he wears the orange national team kit. A really, really solid performance, coming off the bench and making an impact straight away. That's sort of the player he's going to have to be in this tournament, and he's already shown so far. Very important goal to give his side a massive victory. And all in all, with a limited minutes, a fantastic performance, a 7.4 SOFA score rating for him. So, well and truly, a very, very impressive performance. Coming on to the second player, Cody Gakpo. I think he was named man of the match by a lot of the other broadcasting companies and social media teams. He had the one goal with 54 touches, 5 out of 5 successful dribbles, 11 out of 13 ground duels won. All in all, just a complete performance in regards. This is the Cody Gakpo which we saw at the FIFA World Cup in Qatar. It was that ability to pick the ball up. They always looked for him, they searched for him, and when he had the ball at his feet, he would drive into spaces, and obviously the goal was a prime example of that, driving into some open green grass, having that shot gets lucky with the deflection, but you create your own luck sometimes. It was a willing runner early on. He was the real option in behind Memphis Depay, very quiet and really subpar in this game. Javi Simmons operating more as a number 10 rather than a winger, playing that sort of inside forward type role. So Gakpo was the one holding the width, and that was something that Liverpool signed him for, that ability to stay wide, to be a physical presence. He can go down the middle, can score goals through the heading, but he's also a good finish in front of goal, and that's what we saw here today. 2 shots on target, gets the goal in the end, but a really complete performance, and someone that Dutch will have to look through, I guess, as their major goal-scoring option if Memphis Depay is going to continue from the start. Wouldn't be surprised if Donyell Malen gets introduced in maybe the second or third game if Memphis Depay continues that poor performance, but I like that Cody Gakpo is versatile, can play down the middle, can play off the left. I think in this Dutch team, he just operates so well. They look for him first, as I said, and he finds the back of the net more often than not. So a really, really impressive performance, arguably deserving of the man of the match performance. But my personal man of the match was Nathan Ake. Obviously creates the assist for the winning goal for Wout Weghorst. Had the 4 clearances, 1 tackle, didn't lose a single duel last night. 76 touches at 94% pass accuracy. And obviously created the 1 big chance leading to the goal and the 8.1 super score match rating. Covered that left-hand side and every blade of grass on the left-hand side very, very well. Into tackles really well. Closed down space. Didn't allow any space for the Polish to operate in that right-hand channel. Always comes on the ball. Oozes that class that Man City players have. And whenever he got the ball, he always created something. He made something happen. He got the Dutch going in the right direction. And I just think that sort of combination, the 2 centre-backs, Dumfries and also Ake, they look so settled at the back. And it looks like they had that real connection and chemistry amongst the 4 of them. And it's rare to see in international sides that happen straight away in a tournament because of how they often come to different clubs and different nations playing different styles of football. But they all seem to have a common idea and ideology here in the Dutch, which is to play out from the back, lull the opposition into submission and always play slowly and try and break apart the team over time. And that just really helps Nathan Ake. He's not a real aggressive, bombing up the line type of fullback, but we've seen him do it to more improvement towards the end of the season with Manchester City and did it here really well with the Dutch. That second goal, the winning goal, gets to heart of the pitch, wins that ball in the heart of the pitch, drives into a dangerous zone. And that pass, I don't know if it was meant for Wout Weghorst, but if it is, it was inch perfect for Wout Weghorst to get on the end of first time finishing to the back of the net. And that's just the player he was. I think he didn't lay a foot wrong, didn't lose a single duel in this game. And when he was required to defend, he did that job really, really well, using his pace, using his physicality, and at his size and at his stature, the way he can close down spaces so well with that turn of pace, similar to Josko Vardiol for Man City as well, it makes it so hard to stop him. He's playing at left back here, he's playing at centre half for Man City at times. Another versatile player that can play all over the back line there. But for me, every minute he was on the pitch, he made an impact for the Dutch, and as such was my man of the match. Quick shout out to some of the Polish players. Zalewski, for me, I touched on in the build-up. I was really excited to see what he could do in this game. He had the 7.2 match rating, really important in terms of going forward in the second half. He was pivoted to all the good things that were going through the Polish. I think made a constant effort to try and get higher up the pitch, and they couldn't need to win here if things had fallen their ways. He was really impressive going forward. Obviously, Adam Buska with the goal, finding the back of the net there, and as I said, did a really good job holding the ball up, pressing from the front. A job that goes underrated, under the radar a lot with how little of the touch of the football he gets and how little of the ball he will see in a game like that. But he led that press well. He held the line really well. And when they needed an out ball, he was there to hold the ball up and was fouled 3 or 4 times in Virgil van Dijk. So beating one of the best centre-backs to the ball and holding the ball up quite smartly. And obviously Jakob Kiwior, the Arsenal defender, really, really well in that back 3 there, playing the left-hand side of the 3 centre-halves. Really, really impressive performance. Didn't really put a foot wrong, capable of dribbling that ball up for the back, wanted to midfield at times like we've seen him do for Arsenal. And it's someone that's going to be very important for them going forward in this group. It's going to be very challenging from now on in. Obviously, no means over yet for the Polish side with Lewandowski coming back, but an uphill battle now, having lost that first game there, and he'll be pivotal to their success going forward. With that being said, that brings this video to an end, guys. A massive result last night for the Netherlands, coming from behind, trailing 1-0 early on that game to win the game 2-1. Weghorst, again, he'll probably be in the title somewhere. Fantastic super sub coming off the bench. The Dutch look dangerous. I know not many people were talking about it because it wasn't the most impressive performance, but I'm very impressed to see how they won that game and the players that performed. You got Weghorst off the bench, Jeremy Frimpong impacting off the bench, Tino Reiners playing that number 10 role, playing it really, really well. Yes, Martin de Roon and Koop Miners might not be there, or Frankie de Jong, but there's still depth all over the park. That back four looks stable. Bart Verbruggen had a great start in goal. maybe potential for Daniel Marlin or even Wout Weghorst to get the start down the middle, and you're fixing a few things up. So they might be a bit underdogs, but they're definitely a dangerous side to keep an eye on for, and a very impressive result. And starting the tournament on the right note, getting that win over the Polish, a really tough, hard-fought win, which will go a long way to their confidence in this tournament here. With that being said, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please smash a like on it. Subscribe to the channel for more podcast reaction videos like these, live streams. Obviously, you've got tonight's live stream is the France-Austria game, the latest kickoff of the night. I'll be there to live stream that game there. Thank you for all who joined me for this game, the Poland Netherlands game. I had a few people join me for that, so much appreciated. And those who joined me for the really, really early morning kickoff between England and Serbia as well, thank you for joining me. Please, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Share the channel with mates who enjoy this type of content. We're trying to get to around 600, 650 if all goes well by the end of the Euros and the start of the Premier League season. That would be much appreciated. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Enjoyed that coming football action. And I'll see you guys in the video very, very soon. Till next time, guys. See you later.